It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and the prop plane, Kenny Smith. The action tonight will be happening out in Dallas, where the Mavericks will be going up against the Brooklyn Nets. And for Brooklyn, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games, they can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. And tonight, we get to see DeAndre Jordan. Kenny's come a long way since being drafted in the second round back in 2008.
Man, I can't believe he's been in the league over a decade. That's amazing. Either you're getting old or he's getting old.
I'm not getting old. I'm not aging at all.
One of you guys are getting old. But he went from a project to an NBA All-Star.
Excellent defender, excellent rebounder. Most of his points come within 5 feet of the basket. Drafted in the second round, but guess what? Kenny's got the $200 million.
Wow.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, we have an interconference affair lined up for you today as the Brooklyn Nets come in for this one. We're happy to have you with us for 2K Sports midweek presentation of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan courtside with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our reporter tonight on the sideline, David Aldridge. The top storyline, Dirk Nowitzki injured. He will not be suited up today.
Yeah, Kevin, no more uncertainty about the seriousness of the injury. Well, we only got a preliminary diagnosis after he came out of that previous game, but now they sound sure about it, and hopefully we see him back on the court in less than a month.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Hey, Kev. Well, Rick Carlisle is a coaching graybeard. He's entering his second decade as coach of the Mavericks. He led them to the franchise's first and only title in 2011. Now, Eric Spoelstra lost that series to Carlisle, and he says of him, he's a Hall of Famer, a trailblazer as president of the Coaches Association. We all owe him a great deal. Kevin?
He is a legend. Thank you, D.A. Clark, back when you were playing, what were the biggest challenges over the first third of the season you found?
Well, the travel is always a challenge, particularly early in your career, just learning how to manage that. How do you rest? How do you get your work in? How do you stay focused mentally? So the challenge of travel and the details of your craft. And then establishing chemistry with your teammates. We were kind of in transition my first 3 years in Indiana, where we had new players each year. And that's one of the challenges with the team that's struggling to be competitive.
So the Nets starting five. Russell and Crabbe are in the backcourt together. Allen is out there with Kenneth Faried. And it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 3 slot. Offensive rebound. And the pass to Crabbe. And again, it's the Nets missing. And it's Barnes with the ball for the Dallas Mavericks. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
Just a terrific effort off the bench. Guys came in, they seemed fresh, and they all contributed.
Yeah, you need that juice, that gas coming off the pine. Always a luxury to have a deep bench. And when they can step in and play well, you're in good shape.
Now, here is Russell. Harrison Barnes missing his last shot. Russell passes to Faried, and they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
That's his first. There they go, finally able to drop one in on their fourth try.
And Kenneth Faried, an outstanding performance with Team USA in 2014. But, Greg, his minutes have gone down in recent seasons.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great rebounder. He's got all the athleticism you need, but he's not a shooter or a big-time defender. In today's game, you need your big man to do at least one of those two.
A flat-out hustler. Faried is an energy guy who gives you everything he has when he's on the floor.
Russell against Smith. And it's slammed in by Smith.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Now here's Barnes. Really played well against Memphis in his last outing. Pass to Smith. Clock at 6. The shot will not fall. Nice D from Russell. Brooklyn's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Pass to Crabbe. Got it from 16 feet.
You got to respect the mid-range jumper of Crabbe. All he needs is a little room, and it's off.
Now Smith. He picked up 18 points in their last win against the Grizzlies in Memphis. Got a hand on it. Passes it to Crabbe. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Very good at slashing with purpose towards the rim. Crabbe looking to attack whenever he can.
And it's Barnes with the ball for the Dallas Mavericks. It's a 5-point game, and this is their first time matched up with Brooklyn this year.
Yeah, and a pair of losses for them in their meetings last season. And the cold, hard truth about it, they just had a hard time beating anybody last year.
You know, Greg, those were games where you thought they could get a win. But now they need to forget about it. It's in the past, let it go, and they've got to focus on the present and try to make a better run of it this time.
The Mavericks shooting their first free throw of the night.
And looking at the numbers this season, they're shooting a robust 82% from the line. That's about as good as it gets.
One shot.
Free throw good, Jordan. And Clark, the Dallas Mavericks, it used to be that you could count on them being in the playoffs almost every single season.
Yeah, that was the case right before these last 2 years. I mean, they made the postseason 15 out of 16 times prior to that. Proud ownership, consistent ownership, outstanding coaching. It won't be long before they're really good again.
Now here's Barnes. And we know he can score. He's averaging around 21.5 points a game. Now, here's Doncic. D right on him. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. The Nets with the lead. Here's Russell. And he overshot that one, missing.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Smith scanning the floor. On the wing, Barnes. Puts it up from 15. Rebound, Brooklyn. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
Yeah, we saw no matter what they tried offensively, the opponent just had the answer.
Yep, they sure did. Seemed like they had them completely figured out. Hammered them with their aggressive defense throughout the game.
Here's Smith. After the basket by Brooklyn. On the wing, Barnes. Back to Smith. Barnes outside. Shoots. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And with the physical gifts that Hollis Jefferson has, he plays a lot bigger than his listed height.
Now, here is Smith. Steady offensive output from him, averaging more than 16 points a game. Back to Jordan. Deflects the pass. Stolen by Allen. Deep two from Russell. And they cash in right away with the quick shot.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
And for D'Angelo Russell, the former number 2 pick, it's all about developing himself as a player and a leader. Has focused more on the team and less on himself of late, and knows what is expected of him and has to earn every second of floor time.
Brooklyn on defense. Doncic kicks to Smith. Now the pass to Doncic. Barnes left side. Clock at 6. Over Crabbe. That one bounces around and comes back out. And last season, Russell had to fight for minutes upon returning from injury.
Yeah, and battles like that help mature a player and really keep them focused. Those are areas where Russell had struggled in the past. I think he and his coach both know it's not easy, but it has already started in making Russell the best player he can be.
Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
Now, here is Russell. He's coming off a 25-point game against Miami.
And you know, Kevin, his creativity really on display that night. I mean, he was threading beautiful passes everywhere.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Nets?
And so far, these guys have done a fantastic job finding the open man and getting some easy baskets.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Matthews is checked in.
Well, I tell you what, if you're a fan of the Nets, you've got to like the job the front office has done. When they took over the team, it was stuck in a quagmire of losing. Now the fans have some hope as they're building towards success.
Now here's Doncic. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. That one good for 2.
Smith showing outstanding concentration on these hard shots, even as he's getting hit.
Here's Crabbe, following the score by Dennis Smith. Pass to Russell. Score of the basket is third after 5 shots. And for this Brooklyn front office, they've done a good job with what they started with.
Yeah, and even though they've taken nice small steps forward every season, complacency has to be stiff-armed and held back. The GM wants to preach impatience and doesn't want the team to feel full or satisfied.
Rebound by Smith.
I can't explain what happened there, Kevin. I mean, he had the layup. Looked like it was a simple play. Somehow the defense threw him off just enough to cause the miss.
Matthews left side. And it's good from the elbow.
Much respect. You got to give Matthews for that mid-range J now. He's automatic. His in-between game, filthy.
Now here's Crabbe. He has 6. Russell feeling it out a bit, and it goes out of bounds. That one is off Smith. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You take a look at the Warriors. They've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them. And, of course, there's the Mavericks, 10 games behind.
You know, right now, Dallas, they had the kind of hot and cold start that we've kind of come to expect. Nothing that would indicate they're in for any kind of a breakout season.
And, you know, perhaps with a roster move or two later on.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness. Watch out.
And he doesn't always feel the need to get fancy on those dunks, but when Jordan does, he makes it something special, just like that one.
Outside, Russell shoots over Powell, and Russell gets it to go. Russell's got 9 points.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Smith finds Jordan, and DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Yeah, you got to respect the athletic reach of Jordan now. Throw it up, and he will bash in the alley-oop.
Pass to Fareed. Nets passing it around. Pass to Russell. Over to the left wing. Clock at 4. Brooklyn needs to get off a shot here. No good with the triple. Mavericks trail by 7. Smith right side. Stolen by Fareed. Here's Hollis Jefferson. 9-point game his last outing. To the left side wing. Allen dishes to Russell. Beyond the arc. Again, Russell missing. Mavericks shooting 40% here in the early stages. Here's Matthews. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And Wes Matthews, a player who has done a great job, Clark, of recovering from a ruptured Achilles.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Kevin. That's not an easy injury to come back from. He had his injury in 2015 and has been one of the best examples of full recovery from what can be a devastating career-threatening injury. Reached out to DeMarcus Cousins when Cousins ruptured his Achilles to give him a voice of somebody who had already traveled that road.
First one falls for him.
Yeah, you know, Wesley Matthews has made himself an efficient scorer who also has gained a reputation as a good defender.
And the Mavericks with some changes. Measury, he's checked in for Jordan. Maxi Kleber comes in for Dwight Powell. And Barea subbed in for Smith. And then for Brooklyn, LeVert's checked in for Hollis Jefferson. Spencer Dinwiddie comes in for Alan Crabb. And Shabazz Napier subbed in for Russell. Clark, a favorite topic of yours, great rebounders, glass eaters as you call them. Who's the best at creating those important second chance opportunities for his team?
Well, a couple of guys stand out for me in that regard, Kevin. DeAndre Jordan is terrific. Enes Kanter, probably, he might be the best offensive rebounder in the league, Enes Kanter. I mean, he goes and gets it in his area, out of his area, through guys, over them. Man, he's a terrific offensive rebounder. And I'd throw Anthony Davis in there, too. I think he does a great job on the defensive glass and gets his share of offensive boards as well.
Napier kicks to Fareed. 1:43 left to play here in the first. Napier feeling it out a bit. Shoots over Barea. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks.
And sometimes, you know, you don't capitalize off a good shot or a good look. Still, you got to keep letting those good looks fly. Got to be more careful. Can't pick up 2 fouls this early on. You just can't.
Rondé Hollis Jefferson, he's checked in for Allen.
Rondé Hollis Jefferson.
Here's Doncic. 20 points for him last game against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
Brooklyn foul.
Okay. And you know, Wes Matthews still a very talented player in this league. I mean, excellent presence on both ends of the floor, and he certainly has always been a solid defender on the wing.
2 shots.
Free throw, good. Matthews. And for Matthews, he prides himself on being a two-way player.
And, you know, his three-point shooting percentage might not be that impressive, but given the volume of threes he takes, pretty solid. He's a terrific character guy, hard-working, always engaged. And he doesn't need to have the ball to stay involved. I mean, this guy's never going to be a star, but he's going to be one of those guys that always add value to a team.
Dinwiddie surveying the floor. Sweet little floater.
Oh, man, he is so shrewd in screen and rolls. Dinwiddie is good at sizing up and analyzing the situation and then making the right decision at the right time.
Barea, the pass to Doncic. Good, and it's Barea who picks up the assist. Doncic has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And so it's Dinwiddie with it. He'll bring it up for the Brooklyn Nets. Inside, Hollis Jefferson, the tip in on the offensive rebound. And the Nets lead by 4.
Oh, I love that dish down low.
Now here's Barea. Napier covering. Barea, the pass to Doncic. Second chance shot, and the layup is up and in. Doncic has got 5 now.
And you want more of this from Doncic. He's good at reading shot trajectories. Love his aggressiveness.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Dinwiddie passes to LeVert. Shot from 12. It's rebounded by Dallas.
When he's got that kind of positioning, he's got to score it. Got to score the ball from there.
That's a 2 from Matthews. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. D'Angelo Russell getting it done for Brooklyn. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Coming to the Brooklyn Nets in 2017, Alan Crabb saw the opportunity.
Being a Net for me, man, is just great. You know, it's good for my future. It's good for my career. I think they did whatever they had to do in order to get me. So why wouldn't you want to play for an organization like that, man?
Clearly, this team values Crabb, and Greg, what he gives them.
And no question, Crabb is a floor spacer who also defends at a high level, a versatile player.
And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And guys, what stands out to you from the Nets in this one?
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnover.
Just jumped all over him, Greg. I mean, pounced on him, using their length and quickness to come away with those steals.
They've got Mejri. Matthews out there with J.J. Barea. Then there's Doncic, and it's Kleba in at the power forward position. So that's who Dallas starts the second with.
And not exactly quick off the floor, but Luka uses great anticipation to make defensive plays.
Barea with it. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
And he was also a terrific creator in that game as well. His assist totals show you what a fantastic all-around effort it was. Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
There's the pass to Kleba. Barea finds Mejri. Over for Reed. Mejri misses.
Take what's available. Use the fadeaway when the defender's there on you.
Got a piece of it. A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Pass to Barea. Matthews scanning the floor. Pass to Mejri. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Barnes, who's checked in for Doncic. And a switch here for Brooklyn. Harris is checked in for LeVert. Nets leading by 3. And here's Napier. He's still scoreless so far in this one.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Barnes kicks to Barea. Back to Barnes. Takes a 3. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. Barnes has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And, you know, last season the Nets saw a lot of improvement as a group, in large part due to several talent jumps by players on their roster. Organic development, we call that. Overall, just great growth from the young group on the Nets.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, the Mavericks were ecstatic when Dennis Smith Jr. fell to them with the 9th pick of the 2017 draft. For a team in need of athleticism and size at the point guard, it's been a hand-in-glove fit. The 6'3" Smith has a 48-inch vertical, one of the highest ever measured.
A terrific young player, an elite NBA athlete. David, that's for sure. Good stuff, thanks. 2 on the clock. Dinwiddie got it. Good job in the low post. Dinwiddie's got his second basket. And as you said, Clark, a lot of strong progression last season from the Nets' young core.
Yeah, you look at Hollis Jefferson and LeVert, both took big steps forward. Spencer Dinwiddie continued to grow as a point guard. I mean, Harris, Hollis Jefferson, LeVert, Dinwiddie, nice core pieces to build around.
Over to the left wing. Fareed dishes to Dinwiddie. Down it goes for his third basket in as many tries.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Kleba kicks to Barnes, and it goes down 2 points. Barnes has got the lead, back up to 1 now for the Mavs.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Harris looking it over. They grab their own miss, and he goes in for the dunk.
One of the things you love about Hollis Jefferson is his activity. I mean, he impacts the game really without having plays called for him.
Barea with it, now guarded by Fareed. Now here's Barnes. He's tightly guarded. No good that time. Picked away. Now here's Barea. Napier covering. Barea kicks to Kleba. Passes it to Barnes. 6 on the shot clock. Over Harris. Barnes with another miss. And so Fareed will bring it up for the Brooklyn Nets. They've led by as many as 11 points. Dinwiddie passes to Napier, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Barea kicks to Matthews. And a miss there on the triple. Nets leading by 3. Shoots it. Good. Nice play there from Napier. Napier's got 6 here in this quarter.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
Barea looking over the floor. Over to the wing. Right side Matthews. Kenneth Fareed pulls it in. Nets have gone 8 of 12 since the start of the second quarter. That's a really high percentage, hitting around 67%.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Outside Matthews. Back to Barea. Can they get it? And he hits the jumper for 2. Barea's got his 3rd bucket of the night. The Nets with the lead. Harris outside. Inside, Mejri with the steal. To the paint, here's Matthews, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Mark, there was a rules change not too long ago that promoted more help defense, less one-on-one defense. Good or bad?
I like it. Again, there's always going to be a premium on defending one-on-one, but positioning defenders where you can help better and more, I think it's trying to make sure the offensive side doesn't get too much of an advantage where the rules had gone in the past. So I think it's a nice balancing act for the game.
Free throw, good. Matthews. And for the Dallas Mavericks last year, hard to get in transition when you can't cause turnovers.
Well, when you don't get steals and open court situations, it's hard to get easy buckets. But on the other side, they handled the ball well, didn't turn it over, actually fewest turnovers in the league. But I do think they have to become more disruptive defensively.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Here's Dinwiddie. 11 points for him in that last game against Miami. Outside, Russell. Three-pointer. Good for another field goal. Number 5 in the night. 5 for 10 shooting.
Really putting on some kind of show here is D'Angelo. This is what everybody on that team wants to see more and more of from him.
Goes up on the wing. That is good. And the Nets' lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Barnes.
And really, the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
Dinwiddie passes to Russell. Harris outside. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Harris has got himself on the board with 3 there.
Yeah, there's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.
Barnes outside. And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Dallas making a switch here. Doncic is checked in. And then for Brooklyn, LeVert's checked in for Harris. And Krabs subbed in for Dinwiddie.
Already he's looking at his 3rd foul. I think the coach will probably look to sit him down until the 3rd quarter.
Now, here's Doncic. Tight defense on him. And the dunk by Doncic.
And guys, the intelligence is evident. When the pick comes, Doncic often makes the right read.
Here's LeVert. He's coming off a 10-point game against Miami. Russell from long range. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss. Mavericks trail by 3. Barnes outside. Doncic kicks to Barnes. Just 5 on the clock. Down low. Here's Jordan. The shot, no good. Excellent D there from Allen. LeVert the pass to Crabbe. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Crabbe's got 8 points.
Capable of creating for himself, Allen Crabbe is a guy who I like to see make these kind of moves.
And stolen by Russell. He kicks to Crabbe. The pass to LeVert. Lets it go from deep. Powell pulls it in. Powell's got 4 rebounds in this game. Out to Smith. And stolen by Russell. In transition, here come the Nets.
2 minutes remaining first half. 2 minutes.
Pass to LeVert. Jacks up a 3. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Russell's got his 3rd assist on the night.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from 3-point range.
Here's Smith, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And you know, Dennis Smith Jr. is a player who just is oozing with confidence when you see him play.
I just love how Smith Jr. will attack every player he goes up against. Chris Paul, who Smith Jr. goes way back with, noticed how even as a rookie, he approaches every challenge head on. As a rookie, Smith Jr. was just jawing at the vets and dunking on everyone. He has the game to back up that personality.
The first one falls.
Hey, guys, this is the way to stay in the game. They're doing a masterful job from the line. Perfect this quarter.
Jared Dudley's checked in for the Nets. He doesn't get the second one. Well, Dennis Smith Jr., one of the scariest players to see coming at you down the lane, Clark. He can just wreck the rim.
Oh, big time, Kevin. Not only does he finish hard, he does so violently and with some anger attached to it. The kind of dunks where you're worried if defenders are going to get hurt trying to challenge him. This guy's explosive. No surprise he was in the dunk contest last season, and I don't think that's going to be his first invite.
And certainly not lacking in confidence. When Doncic gets these inside looks, he just jumps all over.
Here's LeVert. He's got 5. It's Russell with the drive. That one goes. Count it. Russell's got 14 points.
Good job. Nice job by Fareed to lay into that defender. Put some wood on him with that screen.
There's 47 seconds left in the first half. Kicks it to Crab. Fires the three. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss. Jordan's got 4 rebounds now tonight. To the middle. It'll go, and the Nets lead is cut down now to just 7 on the bucket from Powell.
Boy, he does a nice job, Kevin, keeping the ball high inside when his shot is being challenged, and for that, you've got to give Powell credit.
Here's LeVert, and he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game, and that's a foul called on Dwight Powell. That is his first foul of the game.
Now into the lineup for the Nets. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Russell against Smith. It's Russell with the drive. Smith with some nice D.
It almost looked like that spin left him a little dizzy. Didn't have a very steady hand there on the attempt.
And that does it for the first half of play. It's the Nets. They lead by 7. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks. Rick, what do you not like about how your team is playing so far?
Well, we weren't into it. We missed the block out. We were taking a couple of bad shots. So we just need to refocus. Key in this game, we got to take away their open jump shots and threes, and we got to rebound.
Rick, thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Brooklyn found themselves in a close game in the first. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. They stepped up their game in the second quarter, and the score began to tilt in their favor. It's now a 7-point lead for them here at the half. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the Nets?
Well, I like it, Ernie, because they're just not settling for outside shots. You know, that part of the game is pretty when it's going in. We've seen plenty of teams try that and fail. You got to have a balanced approach. And tonight, they found a ton of success inside. Basketball and championships are won inside out. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
Kenny, how do you think Dallas played?
Well, they're facing a team that shot very well in the first half. Now, that being said, they probably weren't aggressive enough on the defensive end. That was the difference.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
The skyline of Dallas illuminating the night sky as we welcome you back to the Lone Star State. And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. It's been a clinic out there with D'Angelo Russell.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where he is on the floor either, Greg. He's making it look very easy. He's looking to score the ball.
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for the Mavericks. They trail by 7. So for Brooklyn now, Russell and Crab are in the backcourt together. Kenneth Fareed is out there with Hollis-Jefferson. And it's Allen in at the 5, roaming the paint. Barnes. Rebounded by the Nets. Fareed's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Now here's Crab. Covered by Barnes. Crab finds Fareed. Good D by Jordan.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
And Luka Doncic, not the top pick in the draft this past June, but one of the more exciting names out of this rookie class.
Dallas made a point to trade up and draft him. Doncic not playing in the Summer League as he has had a hefty workload in Europe before the draft. Still came away with Euro MVP honors, and at his age, that is incredible.
That free throw good from Doncic.
Yeah, the versatility and competitive fire of Doncic is impressive. You can just tell this kid loves to play the game.
Allen surveying the D. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Luka Doncic. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul.
Allen outside. Crab from long range.
Barnes is really showing some good work on defense. Outstanding at staying in front of his guy and challenging the shots, making it hard for him.
Now, here's Doncic, guarded closely. Smith outside. 6 to shoot. Fires from the wing. They get it back. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Pass to Russell. With some arc, and it's good on the layup. Russell's got 16 points.
And, you know, you look at the floater, it's an effective shot for Russell. But when he doesn't want to go all the way to the rack, you got to have that in your book bag.
Smith kicks to Barnes. To the paint. He's looking for Jordan and finds him. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
And you could see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other.
And I tell you what, guys, that's a big play to make in a close game. Potential momentum builder there.
Fareed outside. Back to Russell. The tray. It's good. That's 8 baskets for him now. 8 for 15 shooting.
The confidence from range, I mean, that's what scouts still insist will make Russell a top-level player.
Smith the pass to Jordan. Russell against Smith. The kick out to Barnes. Looking to get it going. And the Mavericks getting another bucket right there.
Yeah, you called it, Kevin. And Barnes has run the pick and roll plenty of times before and does a good job at taking what's available.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, it is the era of positionless basketball, but how exactly did we get here? Well, new defensive rules at the turn of the century encouraged face-up scoring, motion-based offense, and guard play over isolation and post-ups. As a result, offensive roles have become more interchangeable.
It has become a positionless game now. David, thank you very much. Smith with it. He's picked up by Russell. Shot from free throw range. Here's Powell. The shot that time not on target. The Nets go the other way with it. They've led by as many as 11 points. And Fareed throws it down.
Fareed known for being a great dunker. Give him any room to work with, and he's getting to that rim.
He's gone 1 of 1 in the game so far from the line. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Measury, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Maxi Kleber comes in for Dwight Powell. Matthews, he's checked in for Doncic. And Barea subbed in for Dennis Smith. And then for Brooklyn, Harris is checked in for Hollis Jefferson. Spencer Dinwiddie comes in for Crabbe. And Shabazz Napier subbed in for Russell.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Fareed, no good on the free throw. one thing, Clark, about the Nets, they've shown in the last couple years that they are willing to take a risk on players.
And in many cases, it's worked out for them, Kevin. They traded for D'Angelo Russell when his value was rather low, so taking a risk on players who hadn't worked out for other teams has paid dividends, and I'd throw DeMarre Carroll in that category as well for them.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Nets.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Dinwiddie kicks to Allen. Here's Dinwiddie. He's covered by Matthews. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
And even though Spencer Dinwiddie had a breakout year, he felt that his time was long overdue.
Yeah, and in between the injury in college and kind of being buried on the bench, he's had to overcome a lot and has always believed in himself. And he feels when matched up head-to-head with most guards, he's going to come out on top. Showed exactly why he believes in himself so much with that breakout season in 2018.
Well, I really like this kid in college at Colorado. An effective player is Spencer Dinwiddie. He really does it all. Scores, rebounds, passes, defends. Good all-around player.
Dallas calls timeout.
You know, management for the Dallas Mavericks came right out and said they did not want to enter a rebuild phase. You know, sometimes we don't get exactly what we want, and 2 subpar years in a row certainly changed things for the Mavs.
To the inside, stolen by Allen. Here's Dinwiddie, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. A veteran-laden team for the Mavs last year, Clark. Guys with some big contracts.
Yeah, when you're bumping up against that cap, it makes it really hard to start over. You have to really draft well, which I think they did last season. Dennis Smith Jr. became a really valuable asset.
2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. Well, it's been a long time coming for Nets fans, but starting this offseason, Brooklyn will actually own their own draft pick.
I hope for all Nets fans, they can avoid this situation for a long time.
Both good from the line that time. Mavericks trail by 12. Now Barea. He has 7. Barnes left side. Lays it up off the glass. Barnes has got 4 points this quarter.
Can't allow Barnes that kind of good position in the post, because once he has it, it's dinner time.
Now here's Napier, guarded by Barea. Harris outside. And he overshot that one, missing. Dallas has gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. And the dunk by Barnes.
Yeah, very efficient. Can't get much better than that, Kevin. A guy who takes high percentage shots with his stroke. Love his game.
Now here's Napier. Defense right on him. Measury with the rebound.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
Good. Barnes has got 18 points.
And, guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Dinwiddie dishes to Napier. Shot from the top of the key. And again, no good by Brooklyn. And it's Barnes with the ball for the Mavericks. 6-point game. Now here's Napier, guarded by Barea. Now here's Napier. He's got 8. Passes it to Dinwiddie. 5 to shoot. For 3. The Mavericks pull it in. Mejri's got his 6th rebound on the night. Correa with it. He's got 7. The pass to Kleba. He kicks it to Barnes. Over Harris. Barnes can't get it to go. Nets leading by 6. Here's Dinwiddie. 11 points in the game. Dishes it to Allen. To the middle. Here's Fareed. And it's slammed in by Fareed.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one. That's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Napier kicks to Dinwiddie. It's deflected. Pass to Barea. It's hauled in by Harris. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Pass to Allen. Here's Napier. Defended by Mejri. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. And it's slammed in by Fareed.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now.
Well, you know what? You don't want to do too much to get an opponent riled up. You got to be mindful of that.
Dallas calls timeout. Commissioner Adam Silver believes, Clark, that the NBA will see its first female head coach sooner than later. What do you think?
I think it'll happen. I'm not sure exactly if it'll be sooner. I think it'll be a little time because the pipeline, I think, has to be established to where you have some candidates. And you very well could have candidates now that may not have coached in the NBA that could possibly move into a head coaching role. But I think the progression to that would require, I think, more female assistant coaches before there's a comfort level with moving in that direction from an owner standpoint.
That one goes in, and that's now 10 points for Wesley Matthews.
Man, it's nice to see Matthews get involved inside, showing a nice touch around the basket.
Passes it to Napier. Here's LeVert, guarded by Barea. And he drops it in from the low post. And it's 6 points for Allen.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
From deep, Barea drills it from outside.
And, you know, Barea is a fairly consistent three-point threat. You can't sleep on him out there.
To the right side. It's Allen on the wing. Defended by Mejri. Allen passes to Dinwiddie. And here's Napier. 8 points for him. Here's Fareed. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals. 5 for 8 in the game.
Wow, he is lighting it up here in the second half.
1:44 left to play in the third. Here's Matthews. Outside for Barea. With some arc, and Allen with the block. To the wing on the left. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Napier's got the lead up to 12 now for Brooklyn.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Greg, no question about it. They found a nice rhythm from deep.
And the pass to Powell. 1:02 left in the third. Here's Matthews. Arm's length from the hoop. He knocks it down. Matthews has got 12 in the game.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
Allen finds Napier. The kick out to Fareed. Pass to LeVert. Allen outside. Here's LeVert. He has 5.
Wesley Matthews. That's his 3rd personal foul. Shooting.
You know, Karis LeVert came into the league as a scoring wing, but has changed into a playmaker. I mean, he developed into a primary ball handler out of necessity, and it's a role he's thrived in. He attacks the defense and can finish at the rim himself or find teammates.
The first free throw is good.
And LeVert, the Ohio native, has a ton of potential, folks. A tall, lanky shooting guard with really good playmaking ability.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Mejri. Doncic comes in for Harrison Barnes. And it's Dennis Smith in for Matthews. And then for Brooklyn, Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Kenneth Faried. Crabb comes in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And D'Angelo Russell subbed in for Shabazz Napier.
And they're doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half.
This is how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. Defender pressing up on you, you press right back.
And there's Jordan putting it right back in.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Russell against Smith. Outside Russell. Launches a 3, buries it from 3-point range. Russell's got 8 points here in this quarter. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Nets lead by 13. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. They've got Smith. Doncic out there with Dwight Powell. Then it's Jordan. And it's Barea in at the shooting guard position. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Here's Russell. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss. Jordan's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Smith outside. That's good from Doncic on the assist by Smith. 14 points for Luka Doncic.
Yeah, and Smith doing a nice job getting his teammates involved. Terrific at spotting the open man.
Allen with it. He's picked up by Jordan. Pass to LeVert. Five on the clock. Plays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, LeVert's got the lead up to 13 now for the Nets. Barea kicks to Powell. Dallas moving the ball around. Outside Jordan. Back to Barea.
And you've got to be more careful in that situation. That's his 5th foul, and now he's walking a fine line.
Now, here's Doncic. He's guarded closely. 5 on the clock. Here's Smith.
On defense, LeVert showing great versatility. I mean, this guy's doing a nice job getting his hand up in the face of shooters.
Got that one up quick. And the Nets lead by 16.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
Hey, that's a big piece of the pie when you're talking about winning basketball, fast break points. I mean, because most of the time, those are easy hoops.
Now, here's Doncic. He's guarded closely. Rebounded by the Nets.
Tell you what, Kevin, they will take that look every time. Limited defense, great shot. Just came up empty. You live with those.
Inside. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. LeVert's got 4 points this quarter.
Like the way LeVert controls himself, always under control, knows what he's looking for, takes his time, particularly when he's close to the basket.
Here's Smith. Oh, and the dunk by Smith.
Boy, this guy has dunk contest winner written all over him. Smith Jr.'s cleverness and creativity, really something special. Not to mention his bounce. This guy gets in the air.
Passes it to Hollis Jefferson. Back to Russell. Kicks it to Allen. And the pass to LeVert. From the arc. Good on the three-point shot.
Timeout, timeout.
LeVert's got 9 points now in just the second half.
And he had one in the first as well. He can be dangerous. Keep an eye on him.
Dallas calls timeout.
And, you know, we've seen what Rick Carlisle can do on the court. He's a former coach of the year in the league and led the Mavs to a championship back in 2011. But his off-the-court talents are also very impressive.
Barnes, he's checked in for Dallas. Mavericks trailed by 19. Doncic dishes to Powell. Smith with a wide open look. Good on the triple. And talking about Carlisle's outside interests, one I know of, he's an excellent pianist.
And you know what? He is. And he's played with a well-known musician or two in concert. Also an avid pilot. This guy is a Renaissance man.
LeVert the pass to Russell. And they double up Russell. Hollis Jefferson, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Making the right choice there. I mean, Russell, this is what scouts like about him, his feel, that intuitive feel for the game.
Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Pass to LeVert. He kicks it to Russell. Barnes grabs the miss. Barnes has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Doncic, no good.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Here's the floater, and it's good on the layup.
Offensively, it's been a perfect quarter for him. He hasn't missed a single shot.
Smith finds Jordan. Barnes outside. Clark, these days, less emphasis on divisional rivalries, more emphasis, it seems, on conference rivalries. Are you reading that the same way?
Yeah, I am, and I think part of it is because winning your division doesn't necessarily affect your playoff seeding the way it used to. And I think if we get rid of conferences, the rivalries could shift again. So I've already laid out my position on conferences. Let's stay East and West.
And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Second personal foul.
Boy, I like the way Russell used his body there, finishing through contact, and he'll go to the line for a three-point play opportunity.
One shot.
Free throw, no good for Russell.
Well, you look at D'Angelo Russell, and this season and last season, I really think it was just about maturing, and that goes with all young players in this league. It's a process. I thought he needed to get away from L.A. and the episode he had there with his teammates, and I think he's now more focused and knows more of what it takes to be successful in the NBA. Defense better watch out. They better be alert because this guy can make threes, as we saw in the first half.
Crab, good.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Well, you know, the D just hasn't been there for real. I mean, these shooters are getting any perimeter shot they want. It's a bunch of warm-up jump shots out there.
A bit of pride at stake, trying to get that last 3-ball back, but couldn't get it to fall.
And there's the call on DeAndre Jordan. That'll be his second foul of the game.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Straight frustration right there, and I agree with you. Self-control of your emotions, a must-have if you're going to play winning basketball.
Fareed's checked in for the Nets. Here's Faried. And stolen by Barnes. And now Barnes running the floor all by himself. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
And I think Barnes is an impressive athlete, Kevin. You can say that for a lot of guys in this league, but he excels at reading the defense and forcing the issue.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And the first one at the line is good.
You know, you look at Harrison Barnes, and the question when he went to the Mavericks was, can he carry the offense? Many thought he might just be a product of the Warriors system, which he left. Well, he answered all the questions, and it's clear that he can be the focal point of an offense.
Barnes hits them both. And for Barnes, he heard the doubters when he left in free agency.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, a lot of people wondered if he could be a primary scoring option after being a complementary piece at Golden State, and he proved that he can be. Whenever he's been doubted, he's always risen to the challenge throughout his career, even going back to college. He can score the ball in a lot of different ways, and I don't think there's any question about him being an elite scorer the rest of his career.
And so it's Brooklyn with it. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
The mid-range game. And when guys have that, there's no question they can shoot, and this kid can shoot.
Smith kicks to Powell. Feeds it to Doncic. And the shot is good. Doncic has got 4 points this quarter. And so it's Russell with it. He'll bring it up for the Nets. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. That'll be the first of 4 played at home for him. Out to the right wing. Now here's Cram. He's covered closely. Shot clock at 6. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Barnes outside. Passes it to Smith. One of those ongoing discussions about adding a 4th referee, Clark. Would that help us, you think, call the game more accurately?
No, it would just crowd the court more.
Right.
I mean, come on, what are we talking about here? There's a human element to everything we do. Calls are going to be missed. We've grown and gotten better in highlighting different aspects of calls, being more transparent about it. The video replay, I think, has been more good than bad in the game. There are going to be mistakes. You make them, I make them, the referees make them, coaches make them, players make them. We can't totally eliminate the human element of the game. A 4th official would not add to the ability to get more calls right. They're getting 94, 95% of them right now. You think another official is going to move the needle? Come on.
Kicks it to Russell. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's on Luka Doncic.
Attacking on the drive, and that's going to give Russell some free throws this time.
2 shots.
Two shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
You know, a decent free throw shooter at this point in his career, D'Angelo has the natural stroke, I think, to become one of the league's best. Shoots it very fluidly and easily.
And so Russell hits them both. Clark, you played for a small market team in Indianapolis, so difficult now for them to retain all-star level talent, or so it would seem.
Yeah, that's always been the case, Kevin, and I don't think that's changed much. You know, KD goes from Oklahoma City to the Bay Area. Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward go from small markets to Boston, although Kyrie was traded. Gordon Hayward was signed as a free agent. I think it's just one of those inherent issues that will continue to be a challenge for some of the small market teams. That's why the draft and developing drafted players for those teams is so critically important.
With the teardrop, and there's the nice layup by Barnes. Barnes has got 14 points here in the second half.
And how about the vision there from Doncic? Can make the easy pass and also the difficult one.
Grab dishes to Allen. It's stolen by Smith. Here's Barnes. And Allen with the block. And they'll keep possession. Now Doncic. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
And looking at Luka Doncic, incredibly mature for his age. Physically, the broad shoulders, weighing in about 230. Mentally, though, advanced understanding of how to play the game.
That free throw good from Doncic. You know, Greg, it's amazing that Doncic, at his age, could already have such a complete offensive game.
I mean, a terrific skill set. In Europe, Doncic spent plenty of time as a primary ball handler. Obviously can score in a number of ways, just a versatile threat.
The Nets making a switch here. Dinwiddie's checked in, and good on the second, so he makes them both.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Yeah, you know what? And I think they've just got to keep on keeping on. Keep drawing contact, attacking, getting to the line. That will certainly give them a chance to get back into the game. And really, all credit to the pass there. I mean, he angled it just right. Set up the basket beautifully.
Dallas calls timeout.
And, you know, Spencer Dinwiddie appeared to come out of nowhere. Played in college at Colorado, got hurt right before he was drafted. But he's an outstanding competitor who does all of the little things it takes to win. I mean, you watch him play, it's easy to see why he earns a coach's trust on the floor.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, D'Angelo Russell.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
He's been their pulse tonight, the player who's guided them to the win. And it's a win they needed coming off the loss in their last one.
Brooklyn foul. That's his second personal foul.
Powell down low. Fareed defending.
And when Fareed is active on defense, he makes an impact now. Needs to be more consistent on this end.
And for Dinwiddie, he has the sound fundamentals coaches love. Got an invite to the skills competition last season.
Yeah, he's fluid, but he's almost robotic in that he doesn't waste any movement, and that's a compliment for this guy. I mean, he's not really flashy, but super effective because he knows his game, and he does a nice job blending in with his teammates.
Here's Doncic. Up again.
Yeah, Jordan is aggressive as a rebounder. He uses his massive body, athleticism, and long arms to wreak havoc on the glass.
Here's Dinwiddie, covered by Smith. Well, Clark, some G League salaries on the rise due to two-way contracts.
Yeah, and I think some of it is a function, Kevin, of the league's prosperity and success as revenues continue to grow. But I don't think it's a handout. I mean, when these guys get called up to the NBA, they've got to continue to be ready to produce and contribute because at the end of the day, it's about production if you're going to make your way into the NBA.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Nets.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice, they're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And that next meeting, Greg, will be their second and final game of the season series, being in opposite conferences. So you bet nobody wants to get swept even in a 2-game season series. So I think the next game will be hotly contested.
A very solid win indeed. And when you check out the box score, there were some great numbers for D'Angelo Russell.
A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Dinwiddie kicks to Harris. Clock at 6, and stolen by Barnes. He dishes it to Smith. Launches a 3. Nailed from three-point land.
Well, Smith is both a volume and efficient three-point scorer. I mean, he shoots a lot of them, but he makes a good percentage of them, too.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time